And for more on this, we are now joined by researcher David van Wyk from the Benchmark Foundation for more details on the story. He joins us now via our video link. Mr. Mark, thank you so much, Van Wyk rather. Thank you so much for your time this evening here in SABC News. Let's start off here. What are your thoughts when it comes to this tragedy that has rocked the Ekapa Mine in Kimberley?
Well, I think mudslides are fairly common in diamond mines in South Africa, first and foremost. Secondly, the time of year, March approaching April, is usually when we see spikes in mine accidents in the country due to the Easter break that's coming up, the Independence Day and May Day breaks that are coming up. Workers push production very hard to get production bonuses so that they can take a little bit more money home when these breaks happen. And consequently, often safety regulations and so on are disregarded. Another factor is the low diamond prices on global markets at the moment, and the diamond mines that are surviving are probably pushing production so that they have bigger output to try and cope with the lower prices of diamonds on global markets. So there's a combination of factors here. The other factor is that this is a very old mine, and those workers were 869 meters below ground when the mudslide occurred, and there's very little hope that anybody could survive a mudslide that deep underground. They are probably drowned in the mud.
And coming to that, I mean, the mine saying that it is still continuing with rescue operations. The minister, Gwede Mantashe, is saying that the likelihood of those miners being found alive is really little to none. What are your thoughts when it comes to whether they can still be found alive following that mudslide?
I doubt very much that these mine workers will be found alive. A mudslide is very difficult to stay alive in because you're simply drowned in a wall of mud that comes down the shaft and down the tunnel where you are working, and it basically covers you completely. In previous mudslide accidents in this country, in diamond mines, we've seen how disastrous they can be. It's due to the geology that's specific to diamond mines in this particular area, and we've had a heavy rain season with a lot of water seepage and so on taking place down into the mines. I think that when mines are faced with difficult economic situations, like I said about the global market, also very often costs are cut, and very often those costs are cut in terms of mine safety and so on as well, which is also something that we have found in the past.
And let's stay with that, Mr. Van Wyk, when it comes to, the safety of mine workers in South Africa. And what does this tragedy highlight around the issue of the safety of mine workers in the country?
Well, I think that the safety record of South Africa has improved over the last 5 or 6 years, simply because we have very few deep-level mines left. Most of our mines are now open-cast surface mines, which are much safer and much more capital-intensive rather than labor-intensive. This particular mine is still a shaft mine that goes down 1,000 meters or more. And, it's in these mines that you have falls of rock, moving equipment accidents, and the other types of accidents that you commonly find in deep-level mines. But as we have fewer and fewer deep-level mines, as gold mines are shutting down due to depletion of minerals, and other deep-level mines in the platinum belt and in the diamond belt are shutting down, the safety record of the country will improve. But like I said, this is a very old mine, and therefore you have to be absolutely careful and very much vigilant with regard to what is going on around you, given that the equipment and everything that you are working with is aging.
And you keep on referring to that, Mr. Van Wyk, saying that this is an old mine and some of the equipment has aged. When you look at how, when you look at safety and how it can be improved at, some of the mine shafts, what can be done so that we can prevent another tragedy like this one from taking place in the country?
Well, I think that very old mines should be inspected very regularly to ensure that the mining companies are actually compliant and that they have done proper maintenance on the equipment and infrastructure of the mine. But I also think that when we see mines approaching end of life, we should actually move towards closure of those mines and their rehabilitation, and not try and scratch out every last crumb that we can find, because we just put workers' lives at risk if we do.
All right, Mr. van Wyk, thank you so much for your time. That's David van Wyk. He's a researcher from the Benchmark Foundation there, just giving us his insight and some analysis into that tragedy at the Ekapa Mine in the Northern Cape in Kimberley, of course, saying that the likelihood of those 5 mine workers being found alive is quite slim at this point.